And we're on. Hello, and welcome to podcast episode 161 of Road Boxing. The two Daves are back once again to give you a bit of a preview and prediction show coming into this weekend's boxing. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. There's a little thumbnail at the bottom there. David Boy, saw you 24 hours ago. Done a cracking episode with Jay. That's out now for everybody to listen to and get stuck into. We normally talk about our weekend. We didn't yesterday. So how was your weekend just gone, mate?
Okay, mate. I went and saw my mum on Saturday. Then I got back and had a load of drink for the ring number 4 card, which was great. And then I went on the piss Sunday for Arsenal Tottenham. So yeah, since my father passed away, I've been drinking a fair whack. And then if you go back a few episodes before that, where he was ill, I didn't drink for about 6 weeks. Remember that? The old boring Dave.
I wouldn't say boring Dave. It was more of a sensible Dave, wasn't it? It
was, but he's gone out the window now, and yeah, I'm back on the piss. And now with Christmas coming up, it's going the other way. So I've got a Christmas drink. That's not even my site, but I got invited to, so and it's free. So I'm going in Canary Wharf on Thursday. So Friday's a fucking write-off. I've been invited somewhere on Friday with some friends at the pub to go to some other pub on a Friday, which I might go to because Stacey's going to see JLS.
They still going?
Well, yeah, for £150 for 2 tickets, they are.
Sorry. Have they reformed or something? Because they wasn't that like 2000?
They're just, yeah. I don't think they bring out any new stuff. I just think they roll with the old shit.
Okay, I didn't even realise they split up, or they were still going.
I don't think they split up. I just think that they're just existing. They're like Westlife Boys.
They're just existing.
So she's going to see them with Holly on Friday, so that gives me a free pass to go out. So I'll probably take that. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? And then Sunday it's Arsenal Chelsea. So there's a good chance I can go out for that and all. So yeah, I'll probably be on the piss. But I've got some sad news. I thought I'd say it on here because they're a lovely family. One of the coaches at Alfie's gym, his daughter was always there when we went there with used to like the dogs at Alfie's. Sadly, after a training session, he was training the kids. He went home and he couldn't get into his house, and he broke down the door and found her dead. His daughter dead, 15 years old. She had an epileptic fit. It's her funeral tomorrow. So I just want to say a massive shout out to Lily. Lovely girl. Like I say, just always see her there. It's such a shame, heartbreaking. No parent should have to go through that. So yeah, but God bless to Paul, the coach, her father, and thoughts go out to their family. The funeral's tomorrow, so myself, Lola, and Alfie, I go into that, which is it's going to be tragic. But yeah, no one deserves to lose a child, and yeah, thoughts go out to their family. She was lovely. So I got that tomorrow. So, but yeah, put a bit of a downer on things, but.
Well, horrible thing to find, to experience.
Yeah. You don't wish it on your worst enemy.
No.
Lily O'Neill.
I'm going to say Lily O'Neill. Yeah, I was going to ask the second name. So 2 weeks ago, we dedicated this episode for your dad. Yeah. We dedicate this episode in the memory of Lily O'Neill, mate.
And her father, Paul and Lee, are the head coaches at Alfie's gym. Lovely. Their brothers, they're lovely. And yeah, no one deserves to go through that. So thoughts are with them and sending our love. Definitely, mate. But yeah, what did you get up to the weekend? I presume you was on the piss yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say who's going to be doing it longer? Who's going to go on a longer binge? Well, I've stopped now, kind of thing. So I'm just saving it for weekend. So like a weekend, mate. Mine, ladies and gentlemen. It's been the same since we ever started this pod. It was more or less football, no sleep, alcohol, takeaway pizza, and that was it. On a lighter note, though.
Yeah.
This will take you back to our school days, mate. Do you remember Adidas World Cup boots?
Yes.
Right. So I remember there used to be a sports shop where we live called Parkseys. And I always remember back in the early 90s from the football crazy, always wanted a pair of these Adidas World Cups. I still think they're the best boots ever. Proper leather boots, ladies and gentlemen. I think they've been around since the 60s, 70s, 80s. Always been about 120 quid. I remember in the 90s in Parkseys, they were 120 £. My mum would never ever buy them for me. I got to the Puma King stage, but there was no way she was buying them.
I only got Patrick's boots. That was it, Patrick.
Oh, dear.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think they come out of a magazine with Roy the Rovers.
Anyway, these boots, they're fantastic, right? I'd get a pair now just for that, just for the sake of having them, because I've never ever had them. We watched Stourbridge versus Hull City women on the weekends. They came down, FA Cup game, really good match was. We got stuff 7-1, but the scoreline really doesn't reflect the performance. The girls were in the game; they were just outclassed by the team in the league above them. And there was a girl playing there, woman, should I say? They shot these Adidas World Cup boots, and me and my mate kind of mesmerised just watching her feet. You know, I watch feet at boxing. I was watching this girl's feet at football because she stood out with these Adidas old school World Cups on. Everyone else has got the coloured, trendy Nike and, you know, plastic fucking shit boots. So I had a little word with her after the game. I'll give her a shout, actually. Izzy Quigg, I think her name is. Slid into her DMs, had a little chat with her. I'm like, it's just amazed me, mate. Go take me back to my childhood. 90s boots worn in 2025 in a Division 3 women's game. Fair fucks.
On that,
I thought I'd mention it. Yeah.
On that, obviously you were doing another podcast, a Stourbridge podcast, where you had to go back
apologise.
there. Apologise with your tail between legs. How's that gone down? You've had any feedback or anything from it, or
have you watched it?
No, but I am going to
watch it.
No, I am going to watch it. I am. I want to see the grovelling.
Yeah, there was a bit of grovelling, mate. It's right at the beginning to get it done out the way. I said my piece. I think it lasted about 2 minutes. Basically apologised, retracted it, etc. And touch wood, nothing's come back as of yet. I don't want anything to come back. I didn't mention any names. I didn't mention any club. I didn't mention, you know, any other team members, etc. So yeah, as far as I know, mate, it's all quiet on the Western Front, and that's how I want to keep it. So don't stir the fucking pot, you.
I'll comment. I'm going to go watch it tonight and get in the comments.
Yeah, there's a few comments in the box from the actual original episode. There's a few nasty comments, but we'll ignore them.
I'm going to go back and see what they are.
Oh God, I wish I never said anything now. let's talk a bit of boxing. Well, this is worse. Well, I say it's worse. Prediction League. We'll start with the Prediction League before we jump into the previews. We all know, anyone that's keeping up, I've lost. I can't catch up. It's impossible for me to catch. No matter how many fights you predict, I can't buy a win at the moment. And once again, I'm not going to go through the repertoire, Dave, of every fight. We were level all the way on Saturday night, including Eubank's fight against Wagner, and you done me with Mason Noakes. So I had Abdullah Mason by KO, and you went for Abdullah Mason on points. So you nicked the 3 points there. And the score ended up in the end, myself 13, yourself 15, going into next week's Prediction League, 11-19 to you. Mate,
this is the shutout, isn't it? If it was 119-111, people are calling that a shutout, aren't they?
It's getting, mate. I can't even, like, just for the fun of it now. I can't catch up. Absolutely ridiculous.
There was a point in the season where you were a few points ahead of me as well. But you know, like the championship rounds, that's where I come alive, mate.
Well, you have, and everything was level. Benavides, we got 3 points. Haney 3 points. Bam 3 points. Eubank 3 points. I don't know.
I've had a good weekend, to be fair. I won 220 quid and I beat you. So, I mean...
Well, you beat me every week, so that's standard now, isn't it?
It is standard, yeah. Standard procedure.
Right, let's see what we've got heading our way this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Destination Derby, the Valiant Live Arena. Never heard of it. It's a new one on me. Vacant British heavyweight title on the line. Frazer Clarke versus Jeamie TKV. Beg my pardon. Live on Saturday night on the Beeb. Nice to have a bit of boxing on the Beeb, mate, for a change. New platform for Boxer and Ben Shalom.
Do we know the commentary team?
These two. Go on, mate. Sorry.
Do we know the commentary team or set up for this? Or who's?
I haven't seen it. I've got to be honest. I haven't seen it.
It's good to see who's on comms and how they're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, well, it's the actual program starts at 6 p.m. on Red Button, and I think it comes on the BBC Two at 8 p.m. And I think the main event's around about 10 o'clock. It just clashes, doesn't it, with another show over in Birmingham on the same night. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's get back to Frazer and Jeamie TKV. A bit of beef between these two lately. Selling the fight quite well. Jeamie's a very angry young man. Frazer Clarke's kind of making him bite and things like that. Ranked number 11, Frazer Clarke, Dave, in the British heavyweights. It's weird because he turned over in 2020 after the Olympics, and even though he's had 11 fights, it works out about 2 a year. It still doesn't seem to have kicked on much. It still seems quite stagnant, and he's behind the rankings between Hughie Fury, which we'll talk about in a bit, which is not great if you like, but and he's behind Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce has now just become an opponent. So Frazer Clarke needs, we keep talking about the last few episodes about these sort of fighters kicking on in 2026 and having big years. It has to start now for Big Fraze. It really has to start now. We saw him against Fabio Wardley, a fight of the year last year. And then obviously what happened to him out in Saudi, 1 round knocked out, come back after 5 months, bless him, 5 months after that awful knockout where he looked like he was paralyzed. Went through Ebenezer Tete, or Ebenezer Good, as you call him, like a dose of salts. And he said, this is it now. No fucking around for me anymore. I'm going straight, straight through everyone that's in front of me. No messing, seek, destroy. Hopefully we see that on Saturday. Just quickly before you jump in, mate, Jeamie TKV. Don't know too much about any kind of backstory. He tends to stink the place out a bit. Done really well against David Adelaide. I'll give him his props there. He lost the fight, but it was an illegal shot. David Adelaide caught him with. They didn't want to go back and revisit it. This was supposed to be earlier on in the year. Jeamie TKV got injured, so they put it on this weekend, mate. I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it more now because Jeamie TKV looks well up for it. Frazer Clarke looks well up for it as well. I don't think this is going the distance. On paper, it doesn't look great. But as I'm getting closer now, and I don't know, I don't go into politics. I'm not a massive. I don't tend to watch the BBC for political reasons and things that This podcast isn't for that. But it'd be nice to see this new platform, the way you said, what commentators are going to have, how they're going to sell it, what they're going to do. So yeah, I'm kind of looking. I'm more intrigued than anything. But going back to the fight, mate, I can't see this going a distance. I think someone's going to get, as Tyson Fury would say, knock the spark out.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For me, Frazer Clarke is the better boxer. He's the more skilled boxer. He's aesthetically pleasing. I mean, Jeamie TKV is overweight. I've seen him live. He was fighting when I won Boatsi. Didn't think he was great when it was Boatsi Aziz. I didn't think he was great. I think he had a good account of himself against Adelaide, but it was only 6 rounds, so it's not a lot you can take from it. But this, if he does get the win against Frazer Clarke, it's a big win, and he can go on to do, get meaningful fights off the back of this.
But he would leapfrog Frazer, wouldn't he? Because he'd be British champion.
Yeah, exactly. And Frazer Clarke, obviously, he had 2 fights with Fabio Wardley. Had he won them, he's in a different position now. His trajectory will be completely different. The first fight against Wardley was a great fight, and warranted. And if you look where Fabio Wardley goes now, it's aged pretty well. That draw, yeah, exactly. Obviously, the second fight was, a monstrous right hand from Fabio Wardley, which I thought he gave Frazer Clarke a stroke. The way he was, absolutely caved off of his face, and it was a horrific knockout. And we just worry that Frazer Clarke may be carrying the scars of that. I don't believe a 1-round blast out of Ebenezer Good would puts them demons to bed. You've got to see what he's going to be like under fire. Do I think Jeamie TKV is that guy to do it? I don't. I think that he's an okay boxer. I think Frazer Clarke should go through him and make light work of him. I really, really do. I like that there's a bit of needle. I think it's good. I think the BBC for their first show need it.
Yeah,
you can't have all this niceties. So they, I'm not saying they've been told to sell it, but they may have done. And fair play, but it puts eyeballs on it. But I believe that out of the two, Frazer Clarke's a superior boxer. He's got a better pedigree, better jab, better footwork. And for me, I see this as being light work for Frazer Clarke. I think Jeamie TKV may be a little bit lively in the first couple of rounds, but I think it won't take long to Frazer Clarke to work him out. In that sort of pool of British contenders, when you've got Adelaide, TKV, I would say Frazer Clarke is probably the better of them all. There's people can doubt, can go against me on that, but I would say he is. But he may have the demons from that knockout. I mean, it's a knockout that could last forever. So I want to see what it's like when someone puts it on Frazer. How does he go into his shell, or does he fire back, or does he take backward steps? I want to see what he's going to be like under fire. He was never getting it from Good, but I believe that he and I still don't believe he'll get it from TKV at this stage.
Do you reckon that's why he just went in there and blasted him out? He didn't want to give Ebenezer any kind of chance to kind of land on him in case the demons do come back.
Yeah,
that's what I've got a feeling. He's going to just go out there and seek and destroy straight away. in case he does get clipped, and then we do get the panic and the flashbacks and what do I do now moment. That's why I think he's trying to change his style after what happened.
I don't think he's got time to waste. I think he has.
Dave? 34 he is, Frazer.
Yeah. He's, like I say, on the the fights that he had up to this, we were saying then he needs to move on quicker. Fabio Wardley came up, fantastic fight, and then what happened. It set him back. Think now if he'd have beat Fabio Wardley, what fights we'd be talking about? It wouldn't be nowhere near a Jeamie TKV. So yes, he's gone back a couple of steps. He's got no more time to waste. He has to go through these guys like a dose of salts, the British contenders. If he's got any sort of aspirations of being any type of world champion or fighting for world titles, he needs to move through these guys. He needs to make light work of Jeamie TKV and put the British scene to bed. Get fringe world level. No, there's many names in the heavyweight division. Like you say, you said Hughie Fury. There's Lawrence Okoli. There's Reactpor. There's loads of these guys that Frazer Clarke. I think Frazer Clarke's got the skills to beat. I do. But he needs to do this quickly. Is it his promotional company that will hold him back? It could well be. Ben Shalom doesn't hold that much weight. Frank Warren, him don't get on anyway. Frank Warren's got all the heavyweights. So, yeah, Frazer Clarke's got no time to waste, and I don't think he will. I think he's going to stop Jeamie TKV in round 5.
We spoke about Anthony Yarde yesterday, didn't we? Third time lucky. This is Frazer Clarke's third time lucky. This is the third time he's going for the British title. Twice against Fabio. Obviously, drew and lost. So yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go round 4. I think it's gonna do a bit earlier. Yeah, I'm anticipating what. I think I know what version of Frazer we're gonna get. Just got a feeling this is gonna go in there and seek and destroy. We'll see. There's a few bits and bats on there. We'll concentrate on 2. Fran Hennessy, mate. Are you going to pronounce her opponent's second name?
Batiaki.
That's a great effort, by the way. Look, I didn't want to. No, it was close. It's close. Well, I went back and had a look at a fight, so doing some research for the fight. I've never seen a fight. So we'll break it down a little bit now. But the best way I can pronounce it is by Chichi.
Oh, by Chichi. You know what? She's not even on Fran Hennessy's box rec as her next fight.
That's a bit odd.
Yeah. I'm looking at Fran Hennessy's box rec now. She's not even there. It's not even penciled in this fight for.
Oh, it's on the posters. It's been spoken about in interviews. Hopefully, it hasn't been pulled at the last minute. Anyway, as far as we know, it's still going ahead, so we will crack on with it.
Yeah, crack on with it. Yeah.
Fran Hennessy, mate, bit of a fan, turned into a little bit of a fan favourite, isn't she? 21-year-old undefeated, bantamweight, 6-0 now. We all like seeing a little dance. He gets slated for it, but now it's become a thing where we all kind of wait for it. It's always smiling, improving every fight she's in. He's kind of taken over that Shannon Courtney kind of mentor, if you like, because she was kind of the face of female boxing for a while, British female boxing. She went away. She's on her way back now with MVP. I'll mention Shannon in a minute. And it's all kind of Fran Hennessy. This is a big step up there for me. This going through the box rec, going and having a look at this Chi-Chi's record and going how she fights. This is a gamble. This is, and I like the gamble. I'm not going to retract on things I've said in the past. We'll find out if she's ready to go to the next stage, because this girl, I think she's 29 years old. She's a former atomweight champion. Now that's a weight class we've never fucking mentioned on here. I think it's like, is it minimum straw weight? They use the word atom weight. So that's like 105 pounds, 7.5 stone. But she's worked her way up the fucking, she was a WBC champion there, by the way. Al Sullivan had 3% out of that. She's worked her way up to bantamweight now. She's been in with world champions, fallen at the final hurdle, if you like. She's got a half decent record, 22-2. Yes, she's got 5 KOs, but you don't expect fucking atomweights to get knockouts. She can box. This girl can box. And we all love Fran Hennessy. We all want to see her do well. She's one of the most likable people in boxing. I can see a banana skin here, Dave. Now, if she loses, it's not the fucking end of the world. She's learning. She's 6-0. But go and test yourself against someone that's been in at world level, that's been a world champion. I applaud Fran, and I applaud Boxer and Ben Shalom for giving her this test. Now, people listen to this thinking, this is an easy fucking cherry pick. This girl's crap. She's far from crap. I think this is a potential banana skin, Dave, here. And I'm not confident Fran Hennessy's going to win. I don't know what you think, mate.
I've got to be totally honest. I don't know a lot about her opponent. I'm just looking at her record like you are here, and she does look lively. And to be fair, this is what we want for the girls. They're not active enough at all. We speak about it when we had the girls on. We've had Amendola on, and they're just not active enough at all. And I want to see Fran Hennessy be active. And if they're not going to be active, you want, when they do come out, you want to be in them competitive fights. And this looks to be one.
It's the first 10-rounder, Dave, as well, by the way. Chi's had 11 10-rounders. She's got all the experience in the world. This is what I'm saying. There looks like a big gap between the two. This is why I'm applauding Boxer and Fran for taking this fight. I don't think this is easy.
And Fran Hennessy has the tendency to want to stand and trade as well.
Correct.
So she needs to see what this girl's like. This girl looks it's tough. She looks durable. And like you said there, she's world level. She's been there. So should Fran Hennessy get through this? This is the experience she needs. If you're not going to be active and fight 2-3 times a year, if you're in competitive fights, it will take away the fact that you're not active enough, because you're getting all the experience from being in with someone that's been there and done it. So for me, this is an intriguing fight. I'm obviously going to go with Fran Hennessy on points based on the fact I don't know a lot about her opponent, but I'm hoping that that it is a competitive fight. She gets the rounds. Even like I say, I think Fran Hennessy's going to win on points. So the 10 rounds are going to be invaluable to her. And it looks like she's going to have moments here that she's not experienced before, and it's good for her development. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good fight, and I think it will be based on what I can see.
Yeah, heart says Fran, head says Chi, and I want Fran to win, but because I'm looking more of a cunt each week on this prediction league, I need to be sensible about my picks. So I'm going Chi on points. I think it might be a step too far just at the moment, but you've nailed it. Massive experience now doing 10 rounds. What's she jumping up from, 6 to 10? Is it? Or I'm sure it's 6 to 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2-minute rounds, fast pace. She's done 11 10 rounders in the past. Again, I keep repeating myself. She's been a world champion, relevant of being what weight as. She's still been at the top table. She's danced at the top table with other champions in other weights. Yeah, I think Chi does enough to beat her, mate. I really do. Hopefully not as a Fran Hennessy fan, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. I really do. For a change, I think it's going to be a good fight. Fran Hennessy and Fabiana Chi. Just quickly before we move over to the West Midlands, mate. Jack Massey's.
Chi when it comes with a B.
When I watched some of her fights this afternoon, doing a few notes, she fights a lot in Germany and Czechoslovakia, and I think she's based in Albania. Yes, but the ring announcers were speaking obviously in a foreign language, but when they announced the name, it's Fabiana Chi.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, comments in the box below, please.
I don't think you are when you're looking at it.
Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? We'll see who does boxer show. It used to be Big Mo, didn't it? Wonder if they've still got Big Mo. The announcer, Big Mo. Let's see how he pronounces it. Anyway, just quickly, Jack Massey's back out, mate, on this card. Haven't seen him for over a year since he was brutally knocked out by Jair Bataya. He's in a 6-rounder, so there's not a lot of money on the table for this card for obvious reasons. But good luck to Jack Massey as well. Right, let's move over to the West Midlands, mate. Same time, same night, over in Birmingham, the NEC, not far from me. Ben Whittaker makes his Matchroom debut against Benjamin Gavazi for a shitty ABC, WBC belt, whatever. I know exactly what this is. When it was announced, I said what it was. I don't. This is, to me, and I said when we was on with Jay last night, I briefly mentioned it. This is Harlem Eubank against Josh Wagner for me. Carefully picking an opponent that looks good on paper. He's never fought out of Germany, by the way, so that's a fucking red flag straight away. He's got knockouts. He's only defeated once in his first pro fight. He's got a belt. You can sell this to the casuals. Ben Whittaker, I know what's going to happen here. Ben Whittaker's going to go in the ring, mate, and he's going to look $1 million, dance around him all night, and possibly stop him. And everyone's clapping on their feet. He's fucking back. He's not back. To me, I like Ben. I want every boxer to be successful. But I can see what it is. They've gone down a route here, avoiding the British contenders or the British opponents, if you like. Your Lerone Richards, your Brad Rays. I know Brad Ray fought the other week, but he was still an option. Shakan Pitters, Zach Chelly, even Craig Richardson, Dan Aziz. All these type of guys. When Eddie said he was going for a top 15 opponent for his first, he's gone for a top 100 opponent. I know exactly. I could go straight away in, mate. Ben Whittaker to stop Gavazi in round 8. He's far too good for him. I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced with the Liam Cameron win. Yes, he went in there and took him away in a couple of rounds. Temple shot, done, bosh. I'm still not. I need to see more from him. I'm not sold. And the route they're going around will avoid these. We go here, we get this international belt, which gets us a good ranking. Then we challenge so-and-so. You know, Ben Whittaker's, he's a very marketable, very sellable. Maurizio Silliman and all the other guys will see the 3% when he sells tickets. I know what it's a marketing thing. It's a marketing thing. And I won't be watching this fight. I will have Big Frazer on for that reason. I know what it is.
Yeah, I hated this fight from the start. I still hate it. I can see Ben Whittaker. We were talking about Ben Whittaker's showboating when he went viral for all them silly things that he was tapping on the air and doing. He's going to revert back to that.
We'll see this Saturday. We'll see this Saturday.
He will. I wanted him to put that to one side and do his box. He can box very well. He can box. He can be that guy. I think he's going to go back to when he first burst onto the scene because it's his first fight under Matchroom. Eddie Hearn wants all that razzle-matazzle. He wants all that viral moments and stuff like that for his fighter. And I can see Ben Whittaker doing all that, going back to doing all that shit again, which I absolutely hated anyway. I didn't like it anyway. I can see him doing that, and then like you said, stopping him mid rounds. We're not going to see anything from Ben Whittaker that we haven't seen before. So I'm to be honest with you, mate. I love boxing. I'm not interested. I will watch it. Like you, I'm going to be able to have the BBC one on, and I will watch this fight for obvious reasons. But I'm not looking at this thinking, yes, we're going to see a Ben Whittaker that's going to go and go through the gears, look $1 million. He's going to do the showboating for me, and I've got no interest. I'm switched off already for it. The opponent pissed me off at the start because Eddie Hearn talks some shit most of the time, and the way that he obviously, I did like the show me the money thing and all that video. I thought that was pretty good, but this is shit. This opponent's shit. I'm just not interested. Like I say, it didn't have to be a name that we never really heard of. Someone that's only just, only fought in Germany. We've got enough British contenders that he could go in with
questions.
Yeah. This fight, and you're exactly right. This fight is just for ranking points to get to a certain situation, and it's all strategic movement. I know this boxing's a business and that, but the opponent could have been better. And I guarantee you, it's going to be all that silliness again, where he's stepping back, he's doing all that stupid stuff, where he's slipping his shots and just being a prick.
To get the casual fans back on side, that's what it is. Because this will go viral because he'll look $1 million against this guy.
You watch. There'll be snippets of this fight that go viral again. Right. You watch it, and it'll be all over fucking Twitter X and all that shit again. And I didn't like it the first time round. And just for me, it just means I'm not really looking forward to this fight. On top of that, the opponent. So for me, Ben Whittaker's going to do all that stupidness, and then he's going to stop Gavazi in round 6.
I'm looking forward to the Ben Whittaker journey. But this fight's not included.
Listen, when he gets into it, it's the showboating I don't like. When he gets in there with genuine jeopardy, that goes away. He has to be switched on. He's got to do his boxing, and listen. And if he's doing it against legit opponents, that's fair enough. But if he's doing it against journeymen, where he's tapping them on the head, and he's doing silliness against guys that have got the fucking records of like 20 losses, and I'm not interested. Not interested. So do that stuff, but do that stuff to a proper fighter, and then we'll see. And that's okay. Not this. And I'm just not interested.
What happens? Horror of horrors if Gavazi turns out to be half decent and beats him. What happens, Dave?
It's like Arthur Abraham. I can't see it.
Honestly, I can't see it as well. But
it's back to the drawing board.
Because I think this is a step back from Liam Cameron. I do.
Oh, it is. 100% it is.
If he loses here against this guy, the hype train's real, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
in terms of he's all hype.
Yeah. Like I say, he's got skills. He really, really has. But an arrogance, which you need, fair enough. The showboating, I'm not a fan of, but I could just see this type of opponent is where he's going to pull that out. He's going to have no respect for him, and he's going to do all that silliness. And the minute he does, I'll be like, boom, see ya. I'll just be off, or go and get a cup of tea. Do what you say, to go and make a cup of tea, and I want jeopardy. He's got enough. He's got the skills. He has got the skills in abundance. He needs to be moved on. If he comes through this fight on Saturday and there's another opponent there that's fucking, that's it. He just can't. It can't carry on. It has to be a name next.
We're not asking for a world level name. We're asking for a British
level. British level name. I want him to go to Brit. I want him to go. I know he's. How old is he? Is he 28, something like that?
Yeah, not far off it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for the traditional route, but I think they're going to skip it. I get a feeling he ain't going to do the British and the European and all that sort. I don't see it. They're going to try and make him a superstar, build his brand, make a load of coin off of him, let him sell it very well because he speaks very well. You know what I mean? He puts himself out there, and they'll go that route. He ain't going to go British, Commonwealth, European, all that. He's not going to do
it. Just quickly before we move on to the next one, I did say I was going to mention Shannon Courtney. Just quickly, I forgot to say about it. That's a WBC, that Fran Hennessy fight, mate. There's a WBC international belt involved there. Obviously, ranking points involved. Shannon Courtney, follow her on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. She's desperate to get a fight. Absolutely desperate. She's signed with MVP now. So she's looking to get on that Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua undercard. But if Fran does win on Saturday night, mate, it makes sense to put Fran Hennessy versus Shannon Courtney. Not on Netflix, but on the BBC. You could sell fuck out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She's desperate for fight. She's got herself into fantastic shape. She's looking busy again. I know she's had injuries. She's been out. She's had like mental health problems and things like that. But she's up for it. She's ready to go. So that'd be very interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Going forward, not just with Fran, but definitely with Shannon Courtney as well. Cameron Vuong, Gawin Gywnne too. It's finally come back, mate. I think me and you were the only ones in the country, along with Cameron Vuong's team, that thought he won. My attitude hasn't changed. I still think Cameron Vuong won the fight. I know even Eddie Hearn has gone against us. I don't know if your opinion's changed.
No.
But I maintain that Cameron Vuong done enough in the early rounds to nick it. Gawin Gywnne always comes on strong in the second half of the fight. He won his rounds. He came strong at the end. But to me, it just wasn't enough. Now we're getting it again. I think it's going to be another good fight. Cameron Vuong, a bit like your prospect of the year, Janae Bostan, kind of coming through together. Two Matchroom prospects that have been tipped to go for world honours, etc. Bostan's had a bit of a bad year, as you know. Cameron Vuong got a good win against Jordan Flynn earlier in the year at a stoppage. Fought a little bit of a journeyman to keep ticking over. And now he's got Gawin Gywnne again. I think he's going to get the job done this time. I like Gawin Gywnne. He's been around a long time, former British, European, Commonwealth champion. I think he's 34, 35. There's no signs of him slowing down in terms of when he's in that fight. But I think he slowed down in terms of, how can I word this as a boxing fan? He slowed down in terms of his technique. He's not as fast anymore. He gets hit with a lot more shots now. Other fighters that are reading him better. You look at that old man he fought, Dave, from Italy, that 48-year-old, I can't remember his name. He was schooling him, that southpaw from Italy, from Lazio. And he's tired at his age. And Gawin Gywnne came on strong. Who was his name?
Emiliano Marsili. And that was kind of like a blueprint for me, thinking, okay, you've got the win because the other guy pulled out knackered. He pulled his shoulder or something like that. Yeah. But you should be taking old men like this to school that's never fought out of Italy. I like Gawin Gywnne. I think he's going to be in this fight, but I only think he's going to be in it for so long. I think Cameron Vuong knows that he comes on strong second half. I think Cameron Strong going to be not as aggressive as Big Frazer, but I think he's going to box well, counter punch, and as his counter punch, he's going to come in and start landing big hooks as well to get rid of him. I think he's going to make a bit of a statement here. I've got a feeling Cameron Vuong stops Gawin Gywnne, Dave. Oh, like I say, the first fight was a very good fight. It was for me. It was a fight of two halves.
Changes need to be made though.
10 rounds, probably done Cameron Vuong a favour. I'm with you. I think we got it 6-4 or something like that. I think we had Gawin Gywnne. We had Cameron Vuong winning it just, but we were saying the draw wasn't a scandal. Had there been two more rounds, Gawin Gywnne could have probably took it the way that the trajectory of the fight was going. Cameron Vuong is young. He was like saying, obviously he'd put a lot of energy into the first half of the fight and faded a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas Gawin Gywnne used his experience and came on strong. Should Gawin Gywnne come out the traps early, it could be a problem for Cameron Vuong. But Cameron Vuong's had a couple of fights since. I think he would have took a lot from that first fight. But it also could have took a lot out of Gawin Gywnne, is what you're saying. What you're saying there, he's 2 or 3 fights on from there. There was decline at the time, which is why that fight was made. Gawin Gywnne was meant to be an opponent for Vuong, a name in the British scene for Vuong to move on.
Step up for him, wasn't it? Step up for Vuong.
Yeah, and Gawin Gywnne was meant to be an opponent, a stepping stone for Vuong, and that was what it was meant to be. Gawin Gywnne showed that he still had a bit of life left in the old dog, and gave Cameron Vuong a very, very good, tough fight. Again, we talk about rounds and experience being invaluable. That's probably in Cameron Vuong's career done him the best, the world of good. Gawin Gywnne, he should probably thank Gawin Gywnne for what Gawin Gywnne put him through for that fight, because that will put him in good stead for his career going forward. Again, we're 3 fights on now. Would it be the same Gawin Gywnne? I'm intrigued. Should like you said, Vuong stop him? That would be a statement, and it would be an improvement on the first fight. You would take it from the Cameron Vuong that Cameron Vuong's gone away, he's looked at it, and he's improved, which is what you want from a young fighter. So I think the timing's correct. Having a couple of fights in Midlands, and then you'll see if Cameron Vuong has took that experience and used it to his advantage, and should the result be different this time, that's what you really want from a young fighter. So this is an intriguing fight for me. I think that Cameron Vuong is going to be better in this fight. I think everything that I've said there, I think he is going to do. But I do think that Gawin Gywnne's going to come out and put it on him. He's seen obviously success the first time round. And why wouldn't you? It's just whether he's got the engine to do it earlier, and that's what we'll find out. So so that's what makes this fight intriguing for me. I'm going to go for Cameron Vuong to win again, but I think he's going to win it on points. But I think he's going to win it on points a lot clearer this time. I don't think there's going to be scandal. It wasn't scandal for us, but there was a lot of people going, "Oh, Gavin won." All Xbox boxers were giving it. There was a lot of controversy in the way that people scored the fight. I don't think it's going to be that this time. I think Cameron Vuong's going to win it, but I think he's going to win it a lot clearer. But I don't think he stops Gywnne.
Yeah, I'll go against him, mate. In terms of stoppage, I think he's going to stop him in 5. I look back at that fight against the Italian. I look back at the Mark Chamberlain fight. The homework was done. He always finishes very, very strong. Chamberlain went in there and put it on him early, hurt him and blasted him out. I think Vuong's going to do the same. This has got the same kind of rhetoric, if you like, going into the first fight as what Ben Whittaker was supposed to do to Liam Cameron, but on a smaller scale, if you like. You're the prospect coming up. Eddie's got Matchroom got big plans for you. Gawin Gywnne's a recognisable name, European, British, Commonwealth champion. Make a statement on him. In the world's your oyster, kind of. You can kick on into fringe world level, if you like. I think he's going to get it right this time. I do. I've just got a feeling Cameron Vuong's going to blast him out in 5 rounds. So, yeah, I haven't got a dog in the fight, mate. I couldn't care less who wins, but I've got a feeling Cameron Vuong's going to step up.
Should he do that as a statement? As a statement, especially if you're looking on the first fight. If he does that, there's massive improvements in him there, which is what he needs. So listen, if that's the case, fair play. Because for me, they've done their homework and they've improved, and that's what you want, mate. I'm all for that.
Yeah. Zelfa Barrett's on here on another rebuild after his latest defeat to Jazza Dickens. He takes on Liam Dillon, who's won like 2 in 6 or something. So I think that's an 8-rounder or something like that. And I was going to preview Molly McCann against her opponent, mate. Molly McCann, we all know, old meatball coming over from the MMA world. She's beat up her opponent on her debut. She's 1-0, and her opponent she's facing is 1-0. So we're all expecting Molly to blast this girl out wherever she is anyway. No disrespect, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on see what Molly does anyway, and we'll bring you her knockout. That's confident, her knockout next Monday, mate. I think just quickly before we move over to Rotterdam of all places, I do think Ben will have the last laugh. Ben Shalom will have the last laugh on Eddie this weekend, because people like my old man who doesn't know how to work a satellite or cable box, or definitely not streaming, he'll have the beeb on to watch the boxing. So all your old school, people, and all the people that haven't got DAZN and haven't got pay-per-view, they're not interested in their eyeballs to be on the beeb. So they will. They'll do good numbers. They will. It will. Well, we've just said we've got it on. Let's be honest about it. I'm going to be switching back and forth because I want to know what time Vuong wins on. But if it does clash, Big Frazer and Ben Whittaker, it will still be on the beeb. TV station isn't changing. It will be on the beeb. I'll catch up with Ben Whittaker later on the night or on a Sunday. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching on primetime TV on a Saturday night. People our age and above, they're going to be watching. The younger crowd are going to go for Ben Whittaker, and Ben Whittaker are core fans. But your old school, like I keep saying, they'll have the beeb on, mate. So they'll do numbers compared to DAZN on Saturday, mate.
BBC will do better numbers than that card. I can guarantee it.
Yeah,
I can guarantee it.
Definitely, mate. Hughie Fury, Michael Webster, Rotterdam. This is a GBM co-pro with Next Generation Warriors. Never heard of them. Getting some rounds, getting some money in the bank, probably, Dave, for Christmas. Hughie Fury. I think this is an 8-rounder. Is it an 8-rounder? I did write my notes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's an 8-rounder. Hughie Lewis Fury. We just spoke about British opponents going forward. What's next for Big Frazer in 2026? We've got to say the same here for Hughie Fury. And the frustrating thing for Hughie Fury, he's 31 now. We've always kind of joked that he's a baby. He started so early. He's the one at heavyweight that's had the experience. He's the one that's fought for world titles against Joseph Parker. You know, he went in with Pulev. He went in for an ex-world champion in Junkie Jim Povetkin. Yeah. He's had all the experience in the world. He's kind of plateaued. He's had injuries, isn't he? And he's been poorly and things like that. But at 31, similar to Big Frazer, you know, he's got the name in terms of Fury. Yes, he's nowhere near his cousin, or he can't sell himself like his cousin. You know, he's got a fantastic trainer in his dad and Peter Fury. But get this one out of the way against Michael Webster, who's lost to fucking Solomon Dakers and Jeamie TKV. Funny enough, I think Jeamie TKV stopped him. Yeah, he's got to kick on. And we're speaking about the BBC again. You know, Riakporhe, Frazer Clarke, both a boxer, both on the BBC. Get Hughie Fury over in an all British. What does he do? Where does he go, Dave? He's got to put his foot on the gas. His promotional company, I know he's with GBM and Izzy Aziz. That, you know, they haven't got as much money as the big boys. They're trying to do the best they can to promote him. They put him on his undercard. I'm not sure that the main event is. We're not covering it. But yeah, again, I kind of just poo-pooing the fight because I think Hughie Fury will either, you know, dance around him or stop him. He's sitting down on his shots more. He's looking a little bit different, but he should have kicked on a bit more than what he has done. Yes, he took those fights early in his career and fair fucking play to him. But like your word you used, he's kind of plateaued and disappeared, isn't he? And he's trying to work his way back at the moment.
I can't work out what Fury the journey is, what the path is. It's almost like he's fighting just for the love of the sport. You know, there's no talk of him. He's not rocking the mic saying he wants names. He just seems to appear on cards, doesn't he? Like, Hughie, it comes. Hughie Fury's fighting next week. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. Now I know he's.
Did you know he was out? Did you know he was out this weekend?
No.
I didn't. I had a nosy.
This is what I mean, and yeah, so like I don't really understand the journey. Listen, I think Hughie Fury's improved since. Let's call it Hughie Fury 2.0 now. Like I say, I wasn't a fan of him before that. I didn't like his style. You know, it just didn't do anything for me. Like you said, he is sitting down on his shots now. You know, can he afford to because of the opponents he's in with? Possibly. But I just don't know what the plan is for him. Like, no one's putting out a plan for me to tell me Hughie Fury is going to be doing this, and then he's going to go on to do this, and this. He just seems to appear on cards and fight. So it looks to me like he's just fighting for the love of it at the moment. It doesn't seem to be anyone calling anyone out, saying he wants titles. Not even like the British, you know, the Commonwealth. These type of fights, you know, the type of fighters that he's fighting, he could quite easily be fighting them type of names for these type of belts. So it's a strange thing at the moment because, like I say, I like the difference in him at the moment. So I would like to see more of it, but I want to see more against names. I say fighting in Rotterdam. I mean, what is going on?
Undercards, yeah.
So yeah, it's a strange sort of thing going on with his career at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. Like I say, Michael Webster. Does he really do anything for Hughie Fury at this stage of his career?
Money in the bank for Christmas Day. A few Christmas presents. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Tick over to 2026, and yet, like you say, where's he going? What's the journey? What's he doing? I know he's poor. He seems to be very injury prone, and he's obviously got health issues, very poorly, and things like that. But when he comes back, surely he can't be priced himself out of fights.
No,
I mean, and like he kind of nailed it. Really, he just turns up and he's there.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so much hope for him.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that he's in the gym all the time. I'm sure he's dedicated. I don't want to poo-poo that, but I just don't like I say we're not getting any sort of sound bites out of him. Going right, I'm doing this next, or I'm doing this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm aiming for him. I'm calling him out, and you know what I mean. None of that. He just turns up in Rotterdam in an 8-rounder, and against Michael Webster, who's just lost 2 fights, one to Solomon Dakers, and then Jeamie TKV. Now, like you said there, Hughie Fury has been in with world-class operators. He's fought for world titles. Yeah. He should not be fighting the scraps of Solomon Dakers. I'm sorry, he shouldn't be.
Perfect. No.
And twice, by the way, Dakers has beat him. So yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated as well because, like I say, I've turned a little corner with him in some of the fights I've seen recently.
When we first started this pod, your nightmare fight was Lawrence Okolie versus Hughie Fury.
That could still fucking happen. That could still happen. Oh, I know.
They're both sitting down on the shots now, so it could be a slobber knocker,
Yeah.
mate. It could be a fight of the year contender. Who knows? But
Oh,
he
could
needs
you
to go
imagine?
after that kind of opponent after. On a serious note, get
Yeah,
this
like
one
I
out
say,
of the way.
yeah. But we
Go on,
were saying that on the last opponents that he had, mate. I mean, how many more opponents like this are we going to go? Listen, get this one out of the way, and then go, and then he's just going to appear somewhere. Like, I don't know. Like you say, is it a contract thing? Is it a promotional thing? I don't know. I'm not laying all the blame at his feet, but you know, he's better than this. For me, he's better than this, and he's going to knock Michael Webster out in 2 rounds.
Yeah, I'll go 3, mate. He should do. I want to see next year. Obviously, we just seen Richard Riakporhe. I'm still not sold on him.
No.
I want him to prove me wrong. We don't know where we're going with Hughie Fury, so why not put Hughie Fury versus Richard Riakporhe on next? Hughie Fury at heavyweight is a step up for Richard Riakporhe than Tommy Welch.
Mm.
So, and Richard Riakporhe is calling out domestic opponents. We said this the other week. He's not calling out world level opponents. So there's your fight there. Use the Fury name on the BBC. Get eyeballs. You nailed it when we was talking with Jay and Naeem. People putting on Channel 5 to watch Chris Eubank Jr. not realising it's Harlem Eubank. You just throw Fury in there. You're casual. Tight fish fat, is he? And they put it on. Oh, it's Fury. I will leave it on anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we're both going to go for Hughie to have a knockout in Rotterdam. So that's the end of the previews. Before we do a bit of David McDonald, Winners Weekly Wager catch up, £140 in the pot, ladies and gentlemen. Naeem picked for us last weekend. He went for David Benavidez on points. Benavidez got the stoppage, so there was 1 point earned there. We double it to 2 points, turn it into pounds. So going into this weekend, there's £142 in the Winners Weekly Wager pots. Dave won yet again, so he picks yet again his banker of the weekend. Where you going, brother?
Hughie Fury. I just don't see there's no jeopardy there, not at all.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you. I think that's the only place to go, mate. So yeah, the only place to go now is David McDonald.
So it's David McDonald and the Dongs.
That's a long one.
Yeah, it was. I was joking. Well, I couldn't speak yesterday, so I shouldn't really take the chance for that. Subriel Mateus delivered an adverse analytical finding in a performance-enhancing drug, Osterin, in a VADA test. Mateus's WC Junior welterweight title defense versus Dalton Smith on January 10th is now in jeopardy. And then off the back of this, if Mateus is eventually stripped by the WBC, the WBC will order a vacant title fight between Dalton Smith and Alberto Puello, according to sources. But Mateus has got to have his B sample tested.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's up in the air at the moment. Shambles. It's almost every week we're talking bollocks about this sort of thing. I can't make heads or tails of it, mate. Like I say, they're taking these chances and getting caught, and there's no deterrent. So it's just we're going to have this forever, and it's a shame, really, because Dalton Smith versus Mateus is a good fight.
That's credible by the WBC because obviously Mateus beat Puello. Then obviously now Mateus looks to be juicy. We'll wait for the B sample. We've got to keep the same energy for Mateus that we kept for Joseph Parker, just because we don't know him personally. Always not a likable guy and things like this. Just wait until we see what the test results come back as, what's in his system, how and why he got there, and bans, etc. But to go back to the former champion and still give Dalton Smith that chance that he's worked his way up for, fantastic. I actually might think stylistically it's a harder fight for Dalton Smith. Because he's more of a technician, isn't he, Puello? Whereas Mateus is a come forward and bam, 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 bam. Benavidez like. So, yeah, he'll have to prepare himself for another completely different style. But go on, Dalton. But with the drugs thing, mate, it's not boring because it needs to be settled. It needs to be solved. But it seems to be more regular than ever now. Every time this comes out, what do we say? It's not the first time and it's not the last time. And back-to-back weeks now, we've had Joseph Parker and Subriel Mateus pissing hot for a banned substance.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm glad that there's going to be swift action when it comes to Dalton Smith. There's none of this like they're longing it off and Dalton Smith gets pushed back. But you know what I mean? They've stated straight away they will if it comes back as being hot, the replacement's there and it's going to happen. So there's no fucking about with Dalton Smith's attempt to get a world title shot out of all this. So the positive spin on it. because it could quite easily rumble on. You know what I mean? He could end up serving his ban and then fighting Dalton Smith, 6 months late. All that sort of shit that usually happens. So I'm glad that they've set out their stall. This is what's happening if it comes to be something that comes back juicy and fair play. So
highly likely, isn't it? 99.9% the B sign was always the same as the original, wasn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
Cross contamination.
Something you called recently, and you got receipts for. So Gilberto Ramirez and Robin Safar have struck a deal to fight for Zerdo's WBA, WO Cruiserweight World titles on January 16th in Palm Springs, California. The fight will be paired with Alexis Rocha versus Raul Curiel rematch on the zone. Zerdo must win to keep a planned fight on May 2nd with David Benavidez intact. So you was talking about Robin Safar, with Oscar De La Hoya and stuff like that. You'd mentioned this last week, and then all of a sudden this has been announced. So yeah, you called it, mate. So he'll be fighting Zerdo in Jan.
Yeah, it's again a segue into Joe Battaglia. It's just a strange narrative why everybody's avoiding him. And I said I've got a feeling he's signed Safar so he can make the fight with Zerdo off the back of the Kovalev win, making it a credible fight to keep Zerdo away from Jai. Like we said with Jay, mate, I still can't nail it down why everybody's avoiding him, why their money fights are there involving Jai. I'm not interested in that fight. Even though Safar come off that win and he could be a half decent addition to the cruiserweight, a poor cruiserweight division, it's not the fight. No one wants to see it. No one cares. Boxing fans don't give a shit. There's only 2 fights out there for Jai. Badu Jack for what it's worth, because he's got that WBC belt, which he's desperate to get, and Zerdo. But now Zerdo's doing a 2-fight deal, obviously, with Safar, and he's going down the David Benavidez route. So poor old Jai, having mandatories once again, just looking at his watch, wasting his fucking career because he's too stubborn to go up to heavyweight. But I don't blame him. He's always said from day one, legacy, undisputed cruiserweight champion like Usyk, then I'm moving up. The poor stock can't get the fights. And even the best, promotional business in the world in Matchroom can't do it. And Uncle Turkey seems to doesn't want to sniff around cruiserweight for some reason. Very bizarre, mate. But yeah, not a fight I'm craving for, but we're boxing fans, so we'll preview and review it, won't we?
Yeah, well, that's it. And it's only because you'd mentioned it. Obviously, we reviewed his fight a week or so or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And you mentioned that this was going to happen, and all of a sudden this has now been announced. So fair play. So, I thought it should get mentioned. I'm with you. I'm a massive fan of Jai Battaglia. A lot of us are. But the cruiserweight division's shit, so while they're keeping it in-house over in one corner, Jai Battaglia's fighting guys that no one really heard of, and then he's getting poo-pooed for because they're moaning about the opponents. But it's not like he won't fight the champions. He's screaming, he's rocking the mic. He's screaming for these fights to happen, and it's not happening. And all it stems to me, or sounds like, is that they're just trying to put miles on his clock. They're just they're trying to put some years on him, so that when they do, then they'll all come out and try and fight when they think there's decline. That's what it seems. That's what it screams to me. Is that let's keep him waiting.
Puzzle, isn't it? It's very puzzling what the reasons are, not just from one promotional company, but from others as well. It
stinks. The last bit of news tonight. It's a sad bit of news. An old opponent of Gennady Golovkin. He fought him in 2018. Is Vanis Maturisan. He's passed away at the age of 39 from cancer. So he was a former US Olympian and super welterweight title challenger, and he challenged Gennady Golovkin for the unified middleweight belt in his final fight in 2018. Yeah, so his 39-year-old passed away, an old opponent of Gennady Golovkin, which was really sad. I mean, 39 is younger than us. So yeah, it's terrible news. So yeah, so rest in peace. I'm shit with names. Maturisan.
I'm not going to bail you out on it. I saw it earlier, but I'm not going to bail you out on the name. You have a go.
Yeah, well,
I've done Chi for you.
I'm never going to get it. Maturisan.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I'll go with that. But yeah, sad news there, mate. From an old opponent of rest in peace. No one deserves that at 39. So that is it for today with David McDonald and the Dongs.
Thank you, kind sir. Just before we go, I was going to mention it yesterday when we with Jay. Completely, I had it on my notes. Completely slipped my mind as we were talking. Obviously, sad news about the boxer there passing away and things like that. But we had a boxer fight on that Japan card yesterday that's officially retired after Getting his arse handed to him by a 2-0 prospect in Japan. Carlos Quadros, the legend, Hall of Famer, nailed on Hall of Famer, old school Mexican fighter, been in some of the best fights down at bantamweight flyweight. He's part of that quartet of Rung Fasai himself, Estrada, and Chocolatito.
Yeah.
Very sad to see yesterday, getting absolutely battered by this young kids. And fair play to him, mate. I mean, he's not as active as he used to be. He's 37 now. He's won belts, great amateur, always in exciting fights. Fought the best in his weight division. You know, he got in there with Bam, was dropped by Bam, but stayed in there to the end and give as good as he got. He came out yesterday, said it's not there anymore. I'm going to call it a day and, you know, walk away with what he's won, the money he's earned, and go into other businesses and look after his family. Carlos Quadros, man, great fighter, legend,
really
now on Hall of Famer. But we haven't really had a chance to cover him on this podcast. And obviously yesterday, getting beat up like that in 7 or 8 rounds or whatever it was sad.
Yeah.
To see him like decline like that, especially against a guy. I mean, remember the name, ladies and gentlemen. This is a massive step up from 2-0 to go in with a legend, an active legend, if you like, in Quadros. Tomoya Saboy on the Uncle Undercards. Keep an eye out for him because he looked half decent, Dave, didn't he? Especially what he done to him.
Yeah, he did, mate. He did. It's a shame. It's a shame when legends go, you know, just one step too far, you know, and then find out and it's usually the minute the bell goes and then they realise they don't have it anymore. And it's hard to see, but this is where, you know, fighters need to be safe from themselves. You know, sometimes it's just hard to let go and they need a reality check. And but fair play for that guy going in there for 2-0, going to take that fight. They obviously think well of him, and he's gone out there and proved it. It's sad to see, but he's had a fantastic career, and he will be a nailed on Hall of Famer, and he was part of that quartet. It was amazing fights, it happens to the best. I mean, Father Time catches up to all of us. This is what we worry about with Usyk and these guys that go. It'll only be themselves that, you know, they beat themselves because they go on too long.
Yeah, I kind of now, we spoke about it with Naeem. Well, after watching that, I kind of don't want to see Bam Chocolatito. Not that it's ever going to happen.
You know, I see you put that out there. Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to see it anymore because I wouldn't want to see Chocolatito go out like that. I mean, when he was stopped by the ref, he almost fell over his feet. It was vacant. It was hurt. Always from Quadros. Always remember, every fight he got cut.
He's a warrior,
very susceptible to a cut. It was old school throwback. You know. Lost to Chocolatito, lost to Estrada, beat Rung Fasai for the title. Those 4, because it's down at flyweight, bantamweight, superfly, they don't get spoken enough. And I understand because they're not sold to the casual fan. But in boxing circles, 4 nailed on Hall of Famers right there.
Absolutely.
So enjoy your retirement, brother.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. Some career. Credit to boxing. Yeah.
There you go. 57 minutes, mate. We've got an hour in. We have to do this early because you've got bits and bats to do in the week. I'm off to work now, man. Nothing left to say apart from watching the boxing. So you can do a bit of a comedy act to see us out. I'm enjoying your outros quite lately. They are very good. So, David Boy, well, quickly, end of episode. I'll go for the repertoire. I am going to change this next year. I'm going to change this. I'm not going to go through the repertoire, but I'm going to do it for the sake of doing it. That's the end of podcast episode 161. Please like, share, and subscribe. I do mean that. To us on YouTube and Spotify. David Boy, see us out, brother.
Eddie Hearn has stated this week that when it comes to failed drugs tests, 9 times out of 10, maybe more, the fighters are guilty. And on that note, have a good week and enjoy the boxing.
So much hypocrisy. Peace out, Dave. Peace out, masses. See you next week.
The irony, eh?